silent comedy might seem like a relic of the past, but here's something mind-blowing. A nearly silent TV character reached 245 territories worldwide and spawned a media empire worth hundreds of millions. Let me tell you about the unlikely success of Mr. Bean.
That's fascinating how Rowan Atkinson managed to create such a universal character. The way he deliberately designed Mr. Bean to work without dialogue was pretty revolutionary for modern television.
Well, here's what's really interesting. Atkinson developed the character while studying electrical engineering at Oxford, of all places. And get this, when he tested it at the 1987 Montreal Comedy Festival, he specifically requested to perform for the French-speaking audience.
Oh, wow. So, he was actually testing if the physical comedy would translate across languages right from the start, Vic.
Exactly. And you know what made it even more brilliant? The show only had 15 episodes total, but the trouble with Mr. Bean pulled in almost 19 million viewers. That's the kind of numbers most shows can only dream about.
The attention to detail was incredible, too. Like how they used 3 different green minis during filming, plus 2 extras, just for that famous tank-crushing scene.
And speaking of details, the theme music wasn't just random choir singing. It was actually Latin phrases that changed throughout the show, like Ecce homo qui es faba, meaning behold the man who is a bean. They even had different Latin phrases for commercial breaks.
That's such a clever way to elevate what could have been just slapstick comedy into something more sophisticated. And let's not forget Teddy. That bear went through several iterations before getting those iconic button eyes.
You know what's really wild? The first Bean movie made over $250 million globally on just an $18 million budget. And when Atkinson appeared in a recent Chinese film, he still mainly communicated through facial expressions and gestures, proving the character's universal appeal hasn't diminished.
The way they've adapted the character for different media is pretty remarkable. Like how the animated series kept the minimal dialogue but expanded Bean's world with new characters.
Well, here is something most people don't realize. Even that famous 2012 Olympics performance wasn't technically supposed to be Mr. Bean. The director later revealed it was actually a character named Derek, but everyone just saw Bean anyway. That's how iconic the character had become.
The lasting influence on comedy is pretty remarkable. I mean, the character has become such a cultural touchstone that politicians have been mocked for looking like him, and his expressions are now internet memes.
And you know what's particularly interesting about the show's format? They had these brilliant supporting characters like Irma Gob, who added emotional depth without compromising the physical comedy. That Christmas episode where she expects a proposal really showed how they could balance comedy with genuine feeling.
So, it's really about how they managed to create something timeless by stripping away everything unnecessary and focusing on pure visual storytelling.
Exactly, Sal. And even though Atkinson said in 2012 that someone in their 50s being childlike becomes a bit sad, he later changed his mind about retiring the character. It just shows how this seemingly simple concept, a grown man acting like a child, tapped into something truly universal.
The way they balance sophisticated elements like the Latin choir with pure physical comedy really set a new standard for what television could be.
And looking toward the future, Mr. Bean's success has shown that there's still a huge appetite for visual comedy that transcends language barriers. In our increasingly connected world, that kind of universal appeal might be more valuable than ever. Turns out, you don't need words to conquer the world. Just a Teddy and questionable road manners.
Especially if you're terrorizing a three-wheeled car at every corner.